Hello, thank you for watching this video. I must warn you, at this time, this topic has to do with sex therapy in relation to marriage and family therapy. While it is not going to be graphic and will present scientific information, it is not intended for anyone under the age of 18. Please do not go forward. You have been warned. Again, from the previous slide, this is not intended for anyone under the age of 18. If you are continuing to view this presentation, then please note that the following template was provided for free with license, as long as I referenced powertemplate.com /05688/0/index.html. There's also a American Psychological Association reference, PowerPoint and Template 2004, Intimacy PowerPoint Template. You'll see that on the bottom. Once again, this template was provided for free with license. Hello and welcome, employees of Balanced Minds Therapy Suite. I hope to find everyone doing well. I want to say thank you for logging in and taking this quick micro training, this one regarding systemic sex therapy. As you know, this is part of your requirement to be employed here. We try to make these little trainings quick and easy, and the purpose of them, again, is for you to develop a desire to seek out more information, either from your supervisors here on site, any additional information, books or references you want to buy, or our humongous on-site library. But we need to bring up some ideas for you. So that's why we develop these micro trainings. This is, again, systemic sex therapy. We have other trainings for, quick addiction, for how to help people in the community, so on and so forth, who our community is. So please, after you're done with this one, and if you have time in between clients or it's in the evening, access our large amount of these micro trainings. They are out there for you as you work here at my therapy office. Once again, Balanced Mind. I am your host, trainer, as you know, CEO, and practicing licensed marriage and family therapist. In the real world, that's not. I haven't graduated yet. Jeff KukralJ. You have all my information at the end slide. I will once again give you my information, so feel free to reach out to me at any time. I am more than happy to help any of the mental health practitioners here, and that's what you all are. Some of you I know are straight out of school, so this is pretty much your first job. Some of you have been here for a while, but you are all professionals and you are all needed in this profession. So with that said, let's go on to the next part of the training, and I'll outline exactly what we are going to talk about. Now, before we get into the weeds of everything, I wanted to go on the point of what is Balanced Mind. Balanced Mind was a consortium of different marriage and family therapists that came together to try to create a 4-point system. What we're doing: one, we try to do systemic therapy for clients that come in and need help. However, that's not the main focus. We also want to focus on training other therapists in the art of suicide prevention, which is needed now in California. So that was basically our largest goal. Second is we want to hold focus groups and therapy groups because we think that bringing people together kind of help the overall system and people feel a little bit more comfortable. If they want to have individual therapy, well, we're there for them as well. But our focus there is on group therapy. I came up with the idea here. I'm Jeff KukralJ. I am a marriage and family therapist. My focus, or my therapies of choice I use, is redecision therapy and solution-focused narrative therapy. Going back to school was basically my midlife crisis. So instead of a new hot, fast car, or girlfriend for that matter, I decided to go back to school. And then finally, just for reasons to protect myself, since in reality I am so close to graduating and becoming an associate and then a full-fledged marriage and family therapist. None of this is real. I'm making this up. There is no Balanced Mind as of July 11th, 2020. Just in case, the ethical boards in here in California or the BBS or anything looks up and thinks that I'm, trying to offer therapy. None of this is real. So again, just moving on for a class. So thank you for going forward. So I want to go over what we are going to learn today exactly in this micro training. First, we're going to explain exactly what is sex therapy, a description, or I'm sorry, systemic sex therapy. Um, Not everyone can just always think of the exact terms, or with everything that's in this profession, just get terms. So we want to clarify again and just make sure everyone's on the same page what exactly is systemic sex therapy. It's, basically a description. Then we're going to go over some sex therapy models. Now, hint, there is no number one model, as it depends on the client. Here at Balanced Mind, we do have some suggestions of ones that we like, and so we will highlight those. But again, it's whatever's working for you, whatever's working for your clients. That's our ultimate goal, is to make the client feel like they're getting what they need. Finally, we're going to talk about some clinical applications of sex therapy, and then I want to bestow upon you some sage advice that I've developed, but I also want to offer you to reach out to your individual supervisors, coworkers, as far as what they do. We are all here working in collaboration with one another. So if someone has information, ask for it. If you have information, give it. I mean, don't force it upon them. Wait till they need it, but you know what I mean. Anyhow, hope this is fun, and on to the next slide. Okay, class. Before we go dive into everything, I want to let you know that once again, you should know this. References are all available upon request. They are also in our online database underneath this name of microtraining for systemic sex therapy. So go ahead and look that up if you want anything. So because I'm going to be pointing out some authors, like right now Ray and the other authors of her point talk about systemic thinking. It was a reminder of basically from the MRI Institute back in the 60s and 70s, but basically many variables contribute big and small to the functioning of the system. So that's the systemic thinking. That's where they came from as far as when it came to systemic therapy. You don't just take care of the person who comes in who might be hearing voices or is depressed or whatnot, but what's going on. Some portion of what's going on could be having come from work, life stress, family, heck, even, the dog outside chewing, all this contributes to it. That's all the system that our client is working in. So that's the definition of the systemic thinking. We take care of the whole. We don't look just at the tree, you look at the forest. The Mayo Clinic, on the other hand, talks about sex therapy and basically reminds us that sex therapy is dealing with the sexual issues, both mental and in some cases physical, that brings clients to seek therapeutic help. Mental, for example, there could be a trauma, a rape in the past, seeing parents, making love, and that could be traumatic. So there's your mental, but also the physical. We can't take care of, a physical aspect. The doctor has to be involved. But however, let's say a lady who comes in with a painful intercourse because of something wrong in the vagina, that's still a trauma that we have to deal with mentally. So that's what I meant with the both mental and physical. So when we slam these definitions together, we get the systemic sex therapy. That's where we're coming out. So on the left-hand side, you see that little gray heart, and that could be the systemic thinking. And then on the right, we have the little heart for the sex therapy. Now you bring those together, and the happy face that would represent those. Those are our systemic sex therapy, and that's where we're at today. So now we're moving on through this module. We want to talk about some of the models of sex therapy that you might be able to see in a short explanation of which. But being that you are working here at Balanced Minds, I want to let you know that any form of therapy that you do, as long as it's ethical and not against the law, it's your choice. We're treating you as a professional adult, and if you find that you work well in any particular modality of therapy, you use it, as long as you're helping your client. That's our overall goal. On the left-hand side, you might see some of these resources we've given, and some of these are from trusted people. Whole Wellness Therapy, she used to work for us, and she decided to go out on her own. She started her own practice, and so with that relationship, we were able to pull some of the information over from her. Authentic Counseling Associates is where I started a long time ago. Also wanted to give you what this practice considers some of the best therapies, at least in our mind, our opinion: redecision therapy and solution-focused narrative therapy. Also, since we're working in Sacramento County, I want to give you the 24/7 mental health crisis line information. So there's that resource. And then finally, this is more of a joke, but I really like it if you kind of remove the humor and the way it's written. But men are from Mars, are from Venus. Take it with a grain of salt. Read it if you want. The links there so you can buy the book if you want. It's not a requirement of your employment here at Balanced Mind. But check it out. Some of the information there is interesting. It's basically how to listen to others, removing what you are wanting and needing. So I find it really good. But what I want to let you know again, this is your session. What works best for you is what you can do. But we like to focus on redecision therapy and solution focused narrative therapy. Redecision therapy here as our model, basically for kind of trauma, going back to the point of that trauma pulled you off course from where you need to be. Be it back from any horrible sexual trauma, family trauma, whatnot, that just makes you the way you are today. If you want to go back in time using the technique of redecision therapy, you go back in there and you kind of change your definition of what's going on. Same idea there with solution focused narrative therapy. You get out, you find out what's the bent, what's going on, why are you having for example, sexual issues going on, and then we try to find a path around it or a solution. And so these are a same family of therapy, experiential as far as I'm concerned, because when you get into the solution focus part, but they are completely different. So again, talk to your mentor here at Balanced Mind, and we will work with you. If you need additional help, you could grab those resources. But if you are more of an EDMR person, if you are more of a miracle question kind of person, or art therapy, whatever to get you through, and it's working for your client, please do that. That's what we want. If it's not working for your client, well, then you either need to reevaluate what's going on and seeing if you can switch it up, or it's not unusual to have to refer to someone else that maybe have more experience, and that's not a ding on you, and you will not be looked down upon here at Balanced Mind or any kind of negative review if you do that, because that is an important part of therapy. So remember that. Each and every one of you that is sitting here, with the access codes to listen to this mini training, this micro training, has been interviewed by me, or at least we talked before you accepted and came on board. So we've talked about the clientele that come in through this door. We have everything from, kids to older adults to, geriatrics. We have people that have depression, all the way to just wanting to check in because, they feel like being able to talk to someone every now and then, just check their own emotions is great. So we have the wide gambit. This includes people that are coming in for sexual issues, and that's why we're talking about systemic therapy and sex here. And so some applications that I have noticed that have come in, the more frequent, are people that come in that need help with past sexual trauma. These are people that might have been molested as children, raped at one point. Sexually trafficked. That's not as often here, but I've seen it done with the one client, and so we need to look out for that and help these people with their sexual traumas, and because all they're doing is trying to find a way to have a thriving sexual relationship with their partner or partners, for that matter. So we need to talk about that. That would be a little further. Now, we might have people that are overcoming a physical manifestation of sexual issues. I'm horrible with pronouncing names, so I'm going to try here. Dyspareunia. I wrote it down there. Basically, that's it's an umbrella category for anything physically has to do with sex, either before, during, or after. Experience dictates that mainly it's from women, but men can have it as well. So we might have people that come in here afraid, how am I going to have this loving relationship with my husband or with my wife with my husband, whatever, if it always hurts? Because sex is, in society, an important part of a relationship. So us as marriage and family therapists, our clinical applications, we might help them figure that out. This might be the point for a narrative there, or I'm sorry, for the solution-focused narrative therapy. What's going on? Tell us about it, and let's find something around there. Have you been talking to your doctor? Has they given you any medication? Has that worked? Are you stressed? Does that help? There's so many other things here we can do to try to help with that, but it's usually helping them overcome that physical manifestation. And then finally here, the most common one that I've seen in our office here is sexual identity and our relationships. We got people that come in here and they're identifying as a transgendered woman, transgendered man. What has that done to any kind of relationship they've had? And one particular one that I had was a husband and wife, and the husband came out as transgendered. And what did that do to that relationship? Now is the cis woman a lesbian at the point? So, that can all throw in a hiccup or any kind of monkey wrench in any sort of sexual relationship, as you probably can tell. And so we need help with that. Also, we have people coming in here. I haven't seen it, but others, open relationships, plural relationships. There's positives and negatives each. There's ways to kind of navigate those waters. And as, a therapist here, we help them. And so that's where we bring in our things. And those are some of the manifestations or applications that we will be using with systemic therapy. How are we helping them? What's everything that's coming over? What I want you to do is, no matter what's coming through our doors and facing you, you do your best. You do no harm. You sit there and you figure out what is every variable that's causing an issue, and we're going to tackle all those. Sometimes you might have to tackle them one at a time, or you clear one up and the other ones go poof, gone away. So just saying that. Don't forget, this is not a contest to get it done quickly. We want to take care of our clients, no matter what kind of application we need to use when they come through the door. Well, you've made it to pretty much the end of this micro training. I just want to give you some FAQs or some advice I got. I want to remind you, a lot of this comes from our friends at the Wellness Institute, which is referenced, by the way, don't forget, in the online database. But sexual therapy is for the couple, the group, or the individual. It doesn't have to be just, husband, wife, husband, girl, boy. It could be any myriad. It's basically anything that's involving kind of sexual intimacy. It doesn't even have to be physical if you have people that aren't into the physical aspects, but there is that emotional bond. Systemic sex therapy does not have to be scary. I know it is for a lot of the clients, especially the ones I have seen in my past. You get worried. We're talking about sex, something that we've been taught all of our lives to basically keep hidden and private. And here is a stranger, someone you're even paying to go talk about. So do your best to take away that energy, take away that scariness for your client. You do this by being non-judgmental. This goes into any kind of part of their sex practices, as long as it's not hurting people and everyone is, a willing and person that's able to benefit from it and take, control of it legally. I'm not talking about ethics. I'm not talking about legal bounds. This is purely for everyone that's legally able to enter into any kind of physical relationship or sexual relationship. So be non-judgmental. Basically, I always like to you can see it here on the screen. If it works for them, then it needs to work for you. If you have someone that coming in that, hey, we like plural relationships, 3 or 4 boyfriends, girlfriends, 2 wives, whatever. If it works for them, it's not illegal again. It needs to work for you. Okay. Or if they're into any sort of kink, be kink friendly. People like this, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not affecting their outside organization. It's not, their life. Well, it might be affecting their life, and that's why they're you, but, it's not doing anything to anyone else. So be there for them. And keep in mind, sex therapy is talk therapy. Okay, but it has a focus only on sex. So when you move beyond that, if your focus is on, systemic sex therapy, stay on that part. But if we start diving into, issues with the mom, and if it's not directly related to why you can't perform in the bedroom, but you're diving into it, maybe you might want to refer out and start a team of therapists, and someone else can work on that, because sex therapy is going to drive a lot. From my professional opinion, it's a key component and pretty much needs your entire focus on that. So take care of that. These are just some FAQs. Again, we as a management team, we're here for you. Feel free to reach out to us. You have now reached the end of this micro training on the systemic sexual Sexual Therapy or Sex Therapy, SST. I want to thank you very much for watching. If you're watching these training videos in order, your next one actually should move beyond actual therapy and more into the business side of marriage and family therapy and how to bill our insurance panels. So that's going to be an exciting one. Just teasing. It's not exciting, but it's very important, especially since we all want to get paid. But thank you again for doing this. Again, you can skip around, but definitely do that video. I'm glad that you did this. Go ahead and shoot off an email just to your supervisor and let them know that you watched this one. If you need more training or something a little bit more deeper than this little micro training, please let us know. And we have some more detailed information and resources that you can do on this topic. But again, thank you very much, and keep making our clients happy. That's what they're here for.